Imagine waking up to water swallowing your streets. Homes vanish. Cars float like toys. This is the raw power of a flood apocalypse. When nature unleashes its full force, cities drown in chaos. In the next 10 minutes, we'll explore how floods devastate urban centers, what causes these disasters, and why they're a growing threat. Stay with us to uncover the truth behind nature's watery wrath. Floods are as old as the earth itself. They happen when water overwhelms land that's usually dry. Rivers overflow, coastlines get swamped, rain falls too fast for the ground to absorb. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, defines a flood as any high flow of water that overtops natural or artificial boundaries. Sounds simple, but the impact is massive. Why do cities flood? Urban areas are built for convenience, not nature. Concrete replaces soil, drains clog or it can't keep up. Cities like Houston, Bangkok, and Venice sit in flood-prone zones. Low-lying land near rivers or coasts invites disaster. Add in climate patterns like El Niño, and you've got a recipe for chaos. History shows floods don't discriminate. In 2011, Thailand's capital, Bangkok, faced a deluge that submerged factories and homes. Over 800 people died. In 2017, Hurricane Harvey dumped 60 inches of rain on Houston. That's 5 feet of water. Entire neighborhoods became lakes. These events aren't rare, they're warnings. Floods aren't just water, they're mud, debris, and destruction. They disrupt power, contaminate water supplies, and halt economies. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, estimates global flood damage costs billions annually. Developing nations often suffer most. Poor infrastructure can't handle extreme weather. But even advanced cities struggle when nature strikes hard. Let's zoom in on a real flood apocalypse. Hurricane Harvey, Houston, 2017. It's a textbook case of a city drowned in chaos. Harvey started as a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico. By August 25, it was a Category 4 hurricane. Winds hit 130 miles per hour. But the real killer wasn't wind, it was water. Harvey stalled over Houston for days. It dumped rain at a rate of 1 inch per hour. That's unheard of. Reservoirs overflowed. The Addicks and Barker dams, built to protect the city, couldn't hold back the deluge. Water spilled into suburbs. Downtown streets became rivers. Over 30,000 people were displaced. More than 80 died. The numbers are staggering. Harvey caused $125 billion in damage, per NOAA. That's one of the costliest disasters in U.S. history. Over 300,000 structures were flooded. Homes, schools, hospitals, nothing was spared. First responders worked around the clock. Boats replaced ambulances. Volunteers used kayaks to save stranded neighbors. But Harvey wasn't alone. Across the globe, floods tell similar stories. In 2022, Pakistan faced monsoon rains that submerged a third of the country. Over 1,700 people died. Millions lost homes. Crops were destroyed, sparking food shortages. In 2021, Germany's Ahr Valley saw flash floods kill over 180. Entire towns were swept away. What makes these events so chaotic? Speed and scale. Flash floods hit with little warning. Urban drainage systems fail under pressure. Rivers burst banks in hours. Coastal storm surges, like those from hurricanes, push seawater inland. Debris, trees, cars, even houses becomes battering rams. The chaos compounds when infrastructure crumbles. Power grids fail. Roads vanish. Communication breaks down. Why should you care about floods? They're not just news clips. They're a wake-up call. Climate change is making floods worse. NASA data shows global temperatures rising 1.1 degrees Celsius since the 1880s. Warmer air holds more moisture. That means heavier rain. Storms like Harvey are becoming more frequent. NOAA predicts a 10 to 15% increase in extreme rainfall events by 2050. Urbanization is another culprit. Cities keep growing. Green spaces vanish. Asphalt and concrete don't absorb water. Instead, they funnel it into low-lying areas. Poor planning puts people in harm's way. In 2020, the World Bank estimated 1.5 billion people live in flood-prone urban zones. That number's climbing. Floods hit harder than just property. They disrupt lives. Families lose homes. Businesses shut down. Schools close. Health risks spike. Floodwater carries sewage, chemicals, and bacteria. Diseases like cholera spread fast. Mental health takes a hit too. Survivors face trauma, displacement, and uncertainty. Economies suffer long-term. Rebuilding costs billions. Insurance rates skyrocket. Small businesses often don't recover. In developing nations, floods can entrap communities in poverty for decades. The United Nations reports that floods account for 40% of global disaster-related deaths. That's a number we can't ignore. But there's hope. Better planning can save lives. Early warning systems, like those used in Japan, give people time to evacuate. Flood barriers, like the Netherlands Delta Works, hold back water. Green infrastructure, parks, wetlands, permeable pavements absorbs rain. Individuals can act too. Know your flood risk. Have an emergency plan. Small steps make a difference. Floods are nature's reminder. We're not in control. From Houston to Pakistan, cities drown when water overwhelms. But understanding floods, how they happen, why they're worsening, gives us power. We can prepare, we can adapt, we can rebuild smarter. The stakes are high. Climate change and urban growth aren't slowing down. Floods will keep coming. But with better systems, stronger communities, and a little foresight, we can face the chaos. Nature's strong, but so are we. What's your city doing to fight floods? Drop a comment below. If you found this deep dive eye-opening, hit that like button and share it with a friend. Subscribe for more breakdowns on nature's biggest disasters. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.